So at this point, let's talk about directories just for a little bit. And this isn't going to be exactly a part of the audit, but it's just for your consideration. So just getting comfortable for this one. I actually did talk on a podcast quite a bit today about directories and in the form of link building. And directories really have a lot of different purposes. They are good for links. They can be good as a citation with your NAP. They are good for visibility. They can be another place to get reviews. And of course, most of all, they can be a place where you can get leads if you're positioned on the right directory in the right spot. So as we know, there are a lot of directories out there. Off the top of my head, of course, the more popular ones are Justia, Nolo, Lawyers.com. You used to have probably some sort of LexisNexis one. I'm sure a Law Info one used to work back in the day, if everyone remembers that. Avvo used to be more relevant, got bought out by Martindale-Hubbell, and turn has its own directory, and in turn is owned by internet brands. And then we all kind of know how that goes at that point. So directories are favored by Google. I think that has a lot to do with the diversification of search results and providing a user experience. So if someone were to search for a lawyer, Google's part of they're probably proactive, not as more technical or scientific part of the algorithm. It's really their goal to provide a great user experience, and the great user experience is justifiably not just having 10 lawyer websites. There should be diversification of a result, as you'd probably expect as a consumer looking. You want to have different options instead of just 10 lawyers. You want to have maybe 3 or 4 lawyers, and then a few directories, and then maybe a couple non-legal directories, and maybe a blog, and maybe an article, maybe a press release, maybe the news. It's all part of just diversifying the search results. So the experience is more catered to people's behavior, because not every person thinks the same, searches the same. And I think that's really what Google's doing. It's not exactly verified, but that's really the direction it's going in. So directories rank quite well, much better than they did, I think, towards the end of 2019. It did fluctuate. And one thing I do have to say about directories is oftentimes it should be a part of your marketing mix. So it's always been our background, especially as digital marketers, to utilize your website as the main lead generator. And then that being said too, not only the main lead generator, but definitely the highest quality leads. But there's still other opportunities. Of course, there's paid. Of course, there's local. There's push and pull. There's doing stuff on social. And directories really just are going to be a part of it for the people that really have a budget, or some people that are in some specific areas. Maybe things have to do with, I don't know, random things, zoning, taxation, some other things like that might be able to get in directories for a reasonable price. So that being said, look in your market. And in some places, super lawyers and Justia might be at the top, and others, it could be lawyers in some other directory. So kind of just seeing how the results kind of pan out for your particular practice area and your geography might present an opportunity for directories that maybe shouldn't be overlooked. And then also when you're vetting directories and you're talking to your very helpful, hopefully not too aggressive representative, that they're offering you comfortable terms that make sense. Nothing that insane, like, I'll give you 30% off if you book with us, if you sign a contract for 24 months, which is absurd. I would try to do 3 to 6 months tops with some sort of opt-out based off of performance, especially for directories, because they either work or they don't. It's like paid. You're on there, or you're not. A lot of them rotate ads differently. So you might be a situation, some people do platinum and they do gold and silver and bronze, and then being a part of bronze and silver doesn't do anything. And gold really rarely does, because platinum is 3 people that rotate, and that's pretty much anyone's going to click on. So you want to observe the terms and make sure they make sense. And then last thing I actually was talking about today too, so one of the biggest considerations for directories is because algorithm updates fluctuate results so much, you would not want to be a part of a directory that gets hit by an algorithm update, drops 3 pages, and all of a sudden you went from having, maybe a little bit of success to absolutely no success, and you're locked in. So all things for consideration, and something worth looking into. If you've been burned in the past, it's one of those things, but I think that most people we work with have some sort of directory in some capacity. They're not looking for an absurd ROI, something sort of reasonable. If I had to put it into a number, maybe you're talking $2, $3, $4, dollars for every dollar that you spend. But there's other, I don't know if you say intangible, but there's other benefits like the backlink, the notoriety, being able to maybe use like a badge or award. So those are all for consideration. So in the next video, now that I got that out of the way, we'll talk about how to properly set up the profiles you do create on these directories.